A group of diplomats from 15 nations, including the US, is on a two-day visit to Indian-administered Kashmir. It's the first time that foreign diplomats have been invited by the Indian government to assess the situation after New Delhi revoked the region's autonomy last August. Hafsa Kanjwal is Assistant Professor of South Asian History at Lafayette College. She joins us now via Skype from the US state of New Jersey. Good to have you with us. How credible is this visit?
This is actually not a credible visit at all. I see it as a scripted propaganda tour. The Modi government knows that it has received some international condemnation of what it's done to Kashmir in the past 5 months, the communication clampdown, massive detentions and arrests, and other human rights violations. And it's also important to note that there is actually a House resolution in the U.S. Congress, 745, that has received bipartisan support. And I think their intention, the government's intention, is to create an optics of normalcy to ensure that there is no further international action on what India is doing in Kashmir.
The EU's ambassador is not part of this delegation. What are we to make of that?
I think that was a good step that the EU took because it understood that this was a scripted tour. And I think the nature of the tour I've just read reports that basically the delegation was brought into Kashmir in the late morning today. They were directly taken in a huge motorcade to the army headquarters where they were given a security briefing. And then they were again taken to another location where they met with a hand-picked group of politicians and journalists that appraised them of the situation. They were not allowed to meet with the common people. They were not allowed to meet with the pro-freedom leadership. So I think for the EU, even though they said that they did not go because they were not going to have access to meet with the former chief ministers that are currently under detention, I think it's really important to push them, have them push the Indian government to meet with Kashmiris on the ground and hear from them what's happening, and not politicians that are basically being put in place as kind of a new front in Kashmir.
Yeah, as you said, this delegation has been unable to meet prominent Kashmiri politicians who at the moment are under detention, aren't they?
Yes, they are under detention. 3 former chief ministers are under detention. But I think it's important for people to recognize that when it comes to understanding the pulse on the ground, what Kashmiris feel, think, and want for their future, these politicians don't represent their aspirations. They've always served New Delhi's interests. They've been in client regimes, and they have no legitimacy on the ground. And once New Delhi makes use of them and doesn't need them anymore, they're discarded. So I think, again, it's really important for this delegation to meet, or any future delegations to meet people on the ground, especially the pro-freedom leadership that has been under detention well before August 5th.
Good to talk to you, Hafsa. Many thanks indeed, Hafsa Kanjwal there.